China ramps up the trade war with the United States. Google adds support for Bitcoin ordinals. And we have a deep dive on Are We Living in a Simulation of Demolition Man right here and now. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers up. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there. But if we do, that's kind of where we.
Welcome one, welcome all to the Blockchain Basement. We're joined by some mysterious, cryptic guests here today. DZ, how the hell are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. We're just shooting some shorts, shooting some scripts, doing some basement work. We're just having a great time, man.
Getting after it. All day, every day. Joel?
Yo.
How you been? How was your weekend?
It was awesome, man. Did nothing.
Did nothing?
No, actually, I bought a Trigicon site for my SIG, but it doesn't fit. So
it doesn't fit. You didn't check that it fit before.
I bought a chainsaw and didn't use it yet. So
did you really?
Yeah.
After all that guff you gave me about buying multiple chainsaws, like it's not your average everyday thing to go do.
Look, I think about chainsaws and Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my brain.
We had a Roman Empire video come out. Honestly, I was glad to see the conversation kick off again about the comparison between the United States and Rome, because as a man of history, I feel the same as many people do that compare the clipping of currencies, all of those things that went on at the same time frame. The feeling, it just has the same vibe. Go check out that video. It is in the videos section of the Blockchain Basement. But welcome all. We're making some mods here today. We got the Deadwood, we got C90 FTW, Shake and Bake, Thumbnail Investor, Married AF, Deucey Does Crypto, all the great people, Sack Nasty. Excellent to see you. Thank you for joining me. It's Monday. You know, crypto's in that weird kind of state. Bitcoin's not doing anything amazingly exciting. We're going to have some news about MicroStrategy continuing to boss out. I looked at Michael Saylor's average entry point on Bitcoin.
29K.
Yes, 29K. I really feel like, years from now, he's going to be an absolute genius. Yeah. But to now,
he is down 500 million.
That's a chunk of change.
500 million he's down. They spent roughly 4.6. It is worth 4.1 billion.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have headwinds in the short term, but in the long term, when this all shakes out, I really think he's going to end up on top. And before we get, because I have a lot of charts I want to look at today, but I'm going to get into more of the news, particularly just to begin with, because I got all kinds of coins I want to compare. I'm all excited about Chainlink. I'm looking at HBAR, wondering what the hell it's doing, if it's asleep at the wheel. Not much price action on HBAR, but I can't complain too much because Bitcoin has lost some since I went ham a few weeks back. So MicroStrategy came out, just news today that they bought 5,400 additional bitcoins for $147 million. Not like the biggest buy, but they are becoming a definite big whale in the Bitcoin space. Yeah, I don't think MicroStrategy ever had to worry about getting margin called when we were going down to that 15K mark on Bitcoin. Like, I remember the news broke, that they were they obviously bought the top, right? Like they kept buying all the way through the top. I think he was a little heavy on his buys in this range, which is why it's coming out to 29K as the average. But we've stayed convicted since that time, and I really don't think it's going to be anything that, MicroStrategy investors or BlackRock or any of the dark controllers in the background that actually have interest in MicroStrategy are going to be sad about when it's all said and done. They're just getting entry to Bitcoin basically in a more traditional kind of finance method. Now, one thing that comes to mind, I want to ask you, DZ, on your opinion, is MicroStrategy going to lose its allure when we see actual regulatory clarity come out for Bitcoin spot holding? come out, and cut away that need for backdoor exposure to crypto?
Well, I think it was actually Caleb. It's almost one of the safer ways to get into Bitcoin. What would y'all say, relatively safe? What's the safest crypto investment? It's like just buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so what Michael Saylor's doing, he's the chairman of MicroStrategy. Apparently, you get a really, really good deal on their spot holdings, but also they kind of make okay money.
Yeah.
I think. So it's just like you're investing in Bitcoin that actually kind of has a business behind it that isn't just mining more Bitcoin. Because that's what most Bitcoin companies are. They just have a bunch of machines that mine more Bitcoin.
Right.
What do they do? Well, they just keep mining more Bitcoin. Well, they have to do something. Yeah, they buy more machines so they can buy more Bitcoin. And so he's actually creating software applications for enterprise. I really don't know anything about MicroStrategy. I haven't met anyone who's ever had a MicroStrategy software product, but I don't think we're the target audience, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a question that comes to mind because I feel like there will be a point over the next few years where you will have that regulatory clarity, and then there won't be this need for an intermediary to kind of give you the access to it. But like you said, all their other advancements hopefully might lift them up into still a strong use case in the future. For now, they're positioned well. The other news that we had that was pretty big was that Coinbase Bitcoin holdings come out today. This is all kind of a polycule of TradFi because you have BlackRock using Coinbase as its custody for its eventual ETF, and BlackRock is also heavily invested into MicroStrategy. So they're kind of covering all roads leading to Rome, essentially. This came out today. Coinbase holdings comparable to Bitcoin owner, founder Satoshi Nakamoto. Just kind of an interesting highlight. I'm not surprised by this at all. Do think that Coinbase is one of the stronger crypto exchanges on earth. Largest crypto exchange in the U.S. said to have about $25 billion in Bitcoin reserves. Some is comparable to Bitcoin held by Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin trading accounts for 40% of overall trading volume and 39% of transaction revenue for Coinbase. That's pretty interesting to note. That kind of makes sense. It's like the easy access for the kind of new to crypto, or even I still like using Coinbase just because it directly connects to my bank account really quickly. I like using the Coinbase card even for the rewards and stuff like that. Now, granted, I don't use Coinbase for long-term, wallet. I don't even use the Coinbase wallet in particular. I have it just as an option because I like to get into. You have to have the Coinbase wallet to get AGIX, the Singularity Net token. So there's a couple reasons why I have the Bitcoin or the Coinbase wallet, but that's interesting to note. 40% of their overall trading volume is in that Bitcoin side. Kind of interesting.
So doesn't it go Satoshi and then Coinbase for the most Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Yep, it would be. Satoshi's still unknown though. That's still like a mystery wallet, million coins. Kind of adds to the allure of the whole story behind Bitcoin. And it's a pretty interesting technology. One other thing that we saw just on the Bitcoin side here is that Google Cloud, this is from 8bit, at 8bit sats. I got tagged in this and just checked it out. It seems very interesting. So Google Cloud is now offering ordinal support, a fully synced Bitcoin node with an ordinals wallet that mentions ordinals, Bitcoin, NFTs. So I went into the actual kind of cart, got signed up or whatnot, and here's the overview. Looks like the thing that stuck out to me about why it's useful is the ledger is already synced. You get the full node in just a few minutes instead of having to wait hours. I've even heard some folks having to, restart and spending days trying to get this stuff set up to sync to the ledger from 2009, which takes hours to sync again, they mentioned. But that was kind of the biggest thing. But also beyond that, just the fact that Google is willing to put this Google Cloud operation out there and available for the people, it kind of tells me just in the background that Google knows that maybe ordinals are not going to be disappearing. Maybe they know that ordinals might actually have a long-term use case. Maybe ordinals might actually be contenders in the NFT market in the future. Like, DZ, you're much more familiar with how NFTs went, like the mood up and down of NFTs. I was very disconnected. The last cycle from NFTs, I was kind of a utility maxi, which is where I learned some of my shortfalls in needing that wrench style immediate use case for cryptocurrency. Do you think that Bitcoin ordinals will have a good market share in the next bull market for NFT?
I don't
action?
think so. I think they're going to be pretty low, but ordinals are numbered numerically, and so you can find rare ones and good ones. So, but ordinal number 87,000 is not going to be anywhere near ordinal 8,700, which is not going to be anywhere near 870, which is not going to be anywhere near 87. And so I would look at it that way. There's going to be very, very high concentrated bets at the top, and then a whole bunch of sats not worth.
Okay.
Really, barely.
So you're going to have to get the right sat block. Are you?
There's a couple drops that might have a higher number, but it's like a coveted collection that could also do well. But again, it's going to be similar. It's like 1% of them will do well, 99% are just going to be crap. Who wants to inscribe a piece of Bitcoin? Give me a smart contract that can do stuff, but not just like, oh, it has an inscription. Well, what does it do? Well, can't you see it's inscribed? But what does that do?
Yeah.
Well, it tells me that. Okay.
It seems kind of like a historical artifact of Bitcoin, and that would make sense that only a few of them.
All right. Well, with that, there's historical Bitcoin. 99.9999% of the sats aren't on special blocks. Some are on a special block. Like, oh, this is the block that's the pizza block.
Yes.
Okay. But you know how many times you could split those 10,000 Bitcoins into ordinals? It's way too many for it to be worth anything.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if it comes back. Like, it might be worth just a speculative toe dip, but it's nothing that I'm going to be putting my whole rear end on the line for. Some people were asking about kind of the relativity to how hard I went into Chainlink and HBAR. I went full ass. Okay, I never had that.
We never had 2.5 million views.
Yeah. That would be sick.
We never even had
We're
a
going to
million
get
view
there,
video.
though.
Yeah, I think we'll do a million. I think it'll be a basement video that hits 1 million.
You think so?
It's going to be us eating MREs.
Or maybe we could go to the range and start trying to talk to people next to us about Bitcoin. Just like, hey,
well, I found a good format real quick, not to get it. Bitcoin is. That's the format.
Yeah, it's true. Just get the public's opinion. It's amazing to get the sentiment of what the average person knows about this tech. I mean, we're very much early. We're still,
All right, what do y'all think? All right, Bitcoin is what's going to be the most common answer. You just go out of New York City. Do you think it's going to be like it's a scam?
That's got to be. That's got to be.
Fake money.
You're right. Scam.
Bitcoin is that fake money.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a certain degree of aggravation with traditional fiat, I think, to really be as heavily into crypto as myself, or I mean, I can't speak for DZ, but I'd imagine that you have to see what inflation is doing to your existence, your current existence, to really find the need to look for something alternative. So just some context. I think that'd be fun.
Hey, chat, if you're sitting next to a normie, ask them to finish the sentence. Bitcoin is, what would you finish that? Type in your answers. If anyone's, we're all in the basement though, so none of us are near normies.
I'm pretty normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see. Like, this is just on like age demographic, like the youth, where their heads at, or even just people that are in their later years, talking about Bitcoin being a scam. This is what it looks like when 2 generations of young people are essentially locked out of home ownership, and this is the share of young adults living with their parents right now. Interesting to see this peak. Now, this is World War. So there's definitely stuff going on right there. Things get better. Everyone's moving out. And, then we did away with the gold standard. Inflation takes up. People start living off of credit cards right about here. We kick off a couple international conflicts. Someone sneezes across the street. And here we are. So now just a bunch of young kids living at home. This chart terrifies me. I'm not going to lie. Okay. I have 4 kids. And so the idea of, 4 kids living with me for the rest of my life, like, really get out.
They'll probably never feel more safe though.
No, my God. No, because if you're overbearingly controlling and protective, then they search for the opposite option. Right.
Oh,
so
true.
I try not to be like, strangling them 24/7 or what, but I definitely don't want my kids to be stuck at home with me for their existence. So seeing that graph, it just kind of reinstills that idea that we need to spread intellect about finance desperately in the American public, because things are not getting better for people. I see more and more kind of groups of people stuck together inside of houses because everything's gotten so expensive. So financial literacy is literally one of the most important things, besides keeping my sovereignty via my physical existence and my right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But then also getting my kids informed about Bitcoin or just at least inflation. This graph, it scares the living daylights out of me. So for the love of God, because babysitters ain't cheap, okay, and neither is having 4 adults.
Adults living with the parent on the rise, but so is Bitcoin, according to the normie homie sitting next to Fade and TradFi.
The normie homie.
Oh my God, it's lovely. But yeah, I definitely had to highlight that, man. I had a really great weekend with the wife. It was, her birthday. So I finally got out of the house. With all the kids, it's hard to get out of the house. We went to a very fancy restaurant. It saw like a dinner theater play.
Chuck E. Cheese.
No, it wasn't Chuck E. Cheese. But I mean, you'll take what you can get at a point. I'm telling you, man.
That's a show.
Yeah. So, we got out and I just, when I'm out there seeing everyone kind of enjoying themselves, it always makes me think about how many people are using their credit cards to make that moment happen, and how far from, being able to really save for our future the majority of people have become. So I just stress the importance of this stuff.
Thanks, Zelensky.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to stop. We're going to be dumping money into that show for years on end, unfortunately.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, I mean, I like your optimism, but I don't think there's any stopping this show unless the USS Reagan stops floating around and ending up right next to new cities. Have you seen that meme where it's like, "How dare you park your nation next to my aircraft carrier?" Unbelievable.
Pretty funny.
It just keeps going. But the scam of flu season keeps going. We got Peter St. Onge. I love this guy. I listen to him often. Only 10% of the $7.5 trillion spent during COVID went to health. Where did the rest go? To handouts, crony payments that funded the institutional left, currently trying to enslave us. So your local rioters, hand gluers, have you seen that? They're actually epoxying and cementing their hands to roadways. Yes. Absolutely idiotic. But the army of fact-checking censors are now fully funded. They would have had more funding if Sam Bankman-Fried's brother had continued to get away with their gigantic scheme. Courtesy of your tax dollars, the COVID crisis has been so spectacularly successful for the institutional left. It's only a matter of time till they do it again. I do agree with this. I think that, this next story, let's hop right into it. We have some China news. We'll start it off with Charles Hoskinson highlighting what's going on. Well, don't worry, our great leader will do nothing. Do you know the right thing to save us all? Besides, the best way of hitting an ESG goal with manufacturing is just to stop making the thing. Zero carbon, zero waste. We'll just, wither away and die. There will be no carbon giveaway. So this came from Megatron. China has stopped exporting minerals needed to make chips. This is the biggest blow to the U.S. since the start of the trade war. Basically, just China exported 0 kilograms of 2 key minerals that are used to make semiconductors. I've been talking about this with their tug of war with Taiwan, and what I see happening over the next few years. Data is the new gold of our century, and I think that the race for chip production and control of chip production is only going to heat up. I think that what we see over with the actors Zelensky and Putin is really just the beginning of, that's just a side conquest of really the big kahuna, which is China and America and our trade relationship there within. And it's turning into a trade war as we in America continue to fight each other over which bathroom to use or all this other garbage, this drama that's meant to distract everyone. China is out there trying to develop extremely strong technology. And I don't know the extent of the technology they have because the CCP stays very dark. But I saw this article break out about particle accelerators being worked on in China, and they're planned with AI chips, kind of playing into that control of the AI chip or the chip production in general. According to the South China Morning Post, artificial intelligence chip facilities for the production of particle accelerators are going to circumvent sanctions affecting the local economy. Using a particle accelerator will aid the development of novel laser source production techniques. According to the SEMP, the electron beam of the accelerator will be converted into a high-quality light that's required for on-site fabrication of AI semiconductor circuits. So this is just highlighting they're getting a little extra aggravated with our sanctions, and they're not going to give up Taiwan. They're going to continue to lean into control of that. We saw a lot of aggression come from them when Taiwan Semiconductor was potentially thinking about building a plant here in the United States to produce these chips. Now it looks like it's going to be on us here in America to basically kind of nationalize our chip production. It's unfortunate it's coming to that, and it's going to be difficult because we don't have...
Elon will save the day.
You think so?
Yeah. Have you heard anyone say that?
This might be his moment.
Have you heard anyone say that?
No, that's a hot take. How's he going to save
Tesla is starting to they're ramping up their own in-house production, and plus I don't know if you've seen the Tesla humanoid robots.
Yes. Yeah.
All of those are going to have a chip in them, and then they have plans of eventually selling like 10 billion, 20 billion of these robots. Plan to just totally replace all manual labor. So, Tesla, no more driving, no more manual labor, and with AI, no more thinking. So, it'll be a bunch of just sheep, maybe. We'll be a bunch of sheep. It'll be fun. But I think that he can really ramp up production at scale. I think what he's done with the Gigafactory and even what he's done with Twitter headcount. I think if anyone could smoke NVIDIA, it's going to be an Elon-helmed company.
Well, check this out. Pull up my screen. I had on something being bullish for Elon. This is also self-driving cars causing a traffic jam.
So you know what my thought is on this?
Yeah.
How do we know 20 people or 20 accounts didn't just have them all go to the same thing at the same time?
Just
so they
for
can
the
make this
production
video,
value?
So they can make this video.
That's true. That could be a potential.
Wouldn't you be able to do that fairly cheaply? And if you were Uber, wouldn't it be a very good use of your money to do something like that?
That is true.
Has anyone thought about that?
I mean, no.
My first thought
Lyft
when I
and
saw
Uber
that.
hit each other up.
This is quite a bit of cars.
Yeah, wouldn't that just be a really good use of Uber's PR money right there, their advertising budget money? Lyft.
Yeah. I thought this
something to
video
think about.
These poor
is
people
something
stuck
to
in
think
the
about.
middle.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I think that was set up.
You think it's a setup? This could be a scandal.
I've seen good things from their AI. The accidents are all like turned out to be fake. It's all human error, and then all of a sudden, just this happens out of nowhere. Just doesn't pass the test for DC.
The sniff test.
Well, in general, I think that self-driving cars are a sketch because
They're very sketch.
I'll probably say something out of line 5 years from now. It'll hear that. And then all of a sudden, Drew won't be able to drive to work that day of. If I have one of these vehicles, that's just my internal worry. I also, when Google had these little tiny smart cars, when we were mapping around maps, I can't remember how many decades or what year it was, but I saw the little bubble on top of the Google car, and I absolutely wanted to just, take it out because I was worried that the world might turn into, a version of Demolition Man. And I kind of feel like we're there. I kind of feel like we've gotten there. Anyone, Dizzy, you remember Demolition Man, don't you?
Great movie. I still don't know how to use the seashells.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it takes practice. It takes practice.
Just show me later.
Yeah. Demolition Man has now become a documentary. In 1993, most critics dismissed a one-of-a-kind movie, just a stupid action flick with excessive explosions, except that it smartly predicted the jokes about political correctness, toxic masculinity, racial bias, the hysteria around cancel culture, and even more. By now, it's obvious the movie was brilliant. And this just absolutely is a great reminder. Like, this is him receiving a ticket for saying something out of line. Mm-hmm. And then we see autonomous driving and all these sorts of levels of controls. There's a certain degree where, like, controls are good for... there's many instances where like a DAO or autonomous organization could be used for good, but you also have to have a human kind of empathy level involved with AI. And that's where my concern in general with seeing all these autonomous systems be rolled out is I hope that there's a way to inject human control that has that empathy level of it. I mean, that's kind of the big discussion here, right? I mean, is because we know making autonomous, decision-making procedures are good for the overall, but is it going to have the sensitivity or the emotional capabilities of a human? That's the question. I don't think that it's capable of it, but what do you think, DZ? Am I being hyperbolic? Should I accept?
Yes.
You think so?
All right. What you have someone driving and then they have a debris or they have an obstacle or they have a hazard. What is their first thought? Protect myself. And so I can envision you have a driver on the road, giant pothole. I could envision them being more likely to swerve onto the sidewalk and hitting pedestrians than an AI car would. Because they're going to be thinking, protect myself. And I think an AI might have more of a, I'm going to look at it like a trolley car problem. One person dies, 5 people dies. I'm going to choose one person. Whereas, human drivers is just going to be default. I'm number one, and I think that could be worse.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, that's a
true.
reasonable take, and that's an example of using it for good. I think what we've seen also is that you can do kind of organization of data and control used for evil that we've seen in the UK with the I think it was, what were they called, the ULEZ cameras. Remember the Blade Runners that we saw?
Yeah.
So I see a little bit of these types of controls being used for climate communism as well. And then I just want to show they're doing great work out there in Britain, continuing the great fight. Here's more cameras. They've taken out thousands of these cameras, so people fight back in the organic way either way. I think that the truth will probably lie somewhere in the middle of not being worried and having an absolute freak out about it, because that's usually where the truth lands in those situations that we don't quite understand. So I'll try not to be the end of days all the time on AI. I see the use case in it. I see how things could be advantageous for it. It's just got to be done in the right way. Now, do we have humans in power that are meaning well, that will do it the right way? That's kind of the question that leaves me with. I'm going through all this other news here. We had quite a stuff going on. Lark Davis highlighted total Ethereum on exchanges is dropping. Now at lowest in years.
Yep. Bitcoin and Ethereum are like multi-year lows for amount on exchanges.
Yeah.
I have 2 thoughts about this. One, it's just going to be, hey, that's a bullish sign. Maybe it's looking good. Maybe we have our positive feedback loop for price and it's about to start, y'all. Or the past 12 months, just exchanges collapse so often, people are just more likely to self-custody than they were a year ago.
Well, I like self-custody. I'm bullish on self-custody. So I think it's hard for me to think of either of those as a bad situation.
Joel, are you buying a self-driving car in 5 years?
I might have to.
Yeah?
I might have to, yeah.
You're going to buy one?
I got to buy a new car soon. My wife still doesn't know how to drive. She's from New York.
Oh, racist.
Okay. So
No, she's from New York.
Yeah, I get you.
Jeez.
So this is a perfect example why it might be useful, right? Like if she hasn't had a bunch of experience driving.
And also, we moved to Atlanta about a year ago. And have you seen all these like student drivers, like scared, anxious drivers?
Yeah. The student driver stickers are more prevalent here than anywhere I've ever lived.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it. It's such a scam.
People are aggressive on the road out here.
If I'm a cop, I'm more likely to pull you over with that sticker. Just saying. I'm more likely to pull you over.
That's true.
So yes, I would love to buy her a car that drives itself.
Okay.
As long as it's safe. As long as it's safe.
Are you thinking a Tesla? They came down on prices. They're being aggressive on pricing.
The self-driving one, what is 100,000? Like what the hell? I'm not buying that.
They fell like 20 across the board.
They just did a 30K price
30,
cut on
30,
this.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
Then
My
maybe.
mom just bought a new Volvo.
Yeah.
And she didn't even know that it was a self-driving car. She
Really?
was driving it when accidentally turned it on and it took a turn by itself.
That's echo. Oh, burger. Who wants a burger in here? If no one takes it, I'm taking it. Give it here. I'll do it.
Oh my god.
Did we save it? Did we save it? He saved it,
Pickles
folks.
in the armpit.
He saved it. Yeah, he's so efficient. He unwraps, catches, and bites all in one move, baby.
Thank you, man. All right. Well, I caught a burger.
CTI. Check out CTI.
Yeah,
as
client
promised.
text. Yes, I started looking into it, but let's look at the price right now. Hold on, let me get that mustard out of here. I'm gonna check the CTI here. CTI client text. Because I remember I was looking at it. Obviously, it's been a busy month, Roosevelt Taylor, but I'm glad you bring it up again because jogging my memory. It's been a fast-moving month, Let's see here. So it looks like it's pretty new. Oh, no. It's a 2021. We got the beginning data here. Oh, and
Oh, my God. Hey, it's a $1.7 million market cap.
Yeah.
It could do 100x or it could just never recover. You're talking about a penny stock, man. Like we're not really, unless you have inside information, it's all penny stocks at that level. I mean, you're under 2 million, dude.
This is a risky biscuit play. Gun to my head. I mean, I don't hate it. Let's see here. It's got a market cap. I like low market caps for very small sections of my bags that I'll go after things like this with. In relativity to being a middle-class American.
Man, I'll say this about low-cap gems. When you're in profit, don't be afraid to take the profit.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid.
Yeah. let's see here. I mean, just this all-time. This is tough. It's well lower than it was when it came out. Total supply and max are pretty close. But the circulating supply still has about 35% to go to be released.
Flat smack, the CIA can already do that with a lot of new models, by the way. They can hack into your computer's vehicle's computer system. And
so this is kind of riding, I would say, Clintex.
Real thing.
This is a DeSci play. This is banking on DeSci actually making a move. So this would be a DeSci portfolio potential. It's below where it originally launched. It looks like it's trying to hold on pretty well and build a new floor above this absolute devastation level. But it looks like a lot of meme coin charts too.
Looks like the type of coin you buy $20 and it goes up 10%.
Yeah. And like DZ said, don't be afraid to take those profits. Like Clintex, it's just it's a degen move. You know, it's nothing that I'm going to be rushing to right now. I am going to kind of cover what I rushed into here and just compare kind of what I did, because obviously there was all that news with Swift and Chainlink, right? And I got all hot and heavy. I saw the Bitcoin. I'll pull up my Bitcoin chart here. So this is kind of what was going on in my brain. And we talked about it on the stream as I did, obviously. So basically, I just felt like we lost this level up here at around, it was right as we broke below 30K and started losing that. Got out of Bitcoin. It's since dropped by about 14%. And then decided, so I got out right around here. This was, it's like pretty sure, God, I wish this thing would go away. I got to delete this. So right here is the beginning of September. And that's basically when I decided to get into Chainlink 2. Chainlink has been better than Bitcoin, but it was a very risky move because, you know, it's moving out of Bitcoin, which loses less in accumulation markets, into an altcoin, which in general, you know, do worse during this accumulation time frame. So it was definitely a risky biscuit, but took a lot of profits and it was working with a bag that I wanted to recreate the magic with, and we're on our way so far. In general, on Chainlink, I feel like we'll have some chop now that we've had this real great.
Are we going to talk about the news, the multi-sig thing?
Yeah, let's pull up that news.
Yeah, let's just get right into the Chainlink.
Chainlink is coming out, and they're addressing a little bit of FUD came out on their multi-sig wallet signer changes. Chris Bleck, I love following Chris Bleck. If you don't do it on Twitter, he's got hot takes. Whether you like him or not, he brings the hot takes.
That's why you like him.
Yeah. So what's that?
That's why you like him.
That's why I like him. Yep. He criticized Chainlink for discreetly lowering the number of necessary signatures on its multi-sig wallet from 4 of 9 configuration to a 4 of 8. The 4 of 8 multi-sig configuration serves as a security protocol requiring at least 4 out of the 8 signers to approve the transaction. So that's the change that happened.
Who's that ninth guy?
The ninth guy?
I used to be I got to sign things. I was a configurator.
Well, I mean, it was the ninth guy. It was like they had a pool of 9 to choose from that were going to be the 4 to be the signers. Now they only have a pool of 8.
And Chainlink, to their credit, they say this is a normal thing that they regularly, rotate the musical chairs here.
Yes,
I don't
absolutely.
know how true that is.
I mean, that's what they said, and I'd imagine that's the case. It struck me as like the Supreme Court mess. You know what I mean? Like stacking the Supreme Court, but it's a little different. I thought about it a little bit deeper, and they're not trying to add more Supreme Courts. They basically just took the pool down from 9 to choose from to 8.
You know what? They'll probably go back to 9. You know, they're probably just like finding the guy or doing some due diligence or something.
Yeah.
Or hey, it'll be me.
I mean, this guy had an interesting take too. I think it was. Well, let's see here. Anonymous user, don't even give his name, added on another layer to the discussion, suggesting that Chainlink could lack the lack of transparency could be a strategic move to sidestep potential regulatory issues with the SEC. That was an interesting thing to think about as well, just to maybe change things up a bit so they don't have to fall between the specific purview of the SEC for the time being. Chris Black, obviously been a long time critic of Chainlink, warning the entire DeFi ecosystem could be at risk if Chainlink signers were to act maliciously. Black argued that the centralization risk in Chainlink affects major DeFi projects like Aave and MakerDAO. Yeah, because they definitely rely on its.
It'd be like Binance collapse,
Yeah.
like Link collapse.
It
It'd
would
be
be
very,
huge.
very bad. Pricing, no one would know what's real. There'd be like the arbitrage geniuses would end up like making billions, and everyone else would just lose the billions.
Absolutely. And, just hearing that so many rely on it for that data, that information makes me even more bullish on it. Like, I'm not here, like if, sometimes when you're in cryptocurrency and everyone's telling you it's a scam anyways, and you're, taking these high risk investment moves, sometimes it's better to just acknowledge that it's good to fight in the shade, right? If everything's coming at you, all the hatred, you just got to kind of lean into it. You know what I mean? And that's how I see it with the Chainlink FUD. If all of these DeFi protocols are relying on it for that information, man, that's where its price looks low. It looks juicy to me, and I'm moving in on it. Oh, God, that looks good.
It does look juicy.
I mean, where is this from? Where is this? I don't even know.
Hey, how long has Chainlink been around? A long time?
It's been, I've been holding it for years.
2019,
Okay.
yeah,
Let me see here. 2018, you think?
I think.
Yeah, let me see here. It goes back, 2018, just about the end of 2018. So, yeah, it's a long-term hold. You don't need to show this. This is ridiculous. This is just some random time frame that was on there. But I am in on Chainlink. I'm definitely getting degening. I'm feeling good because some of the recent picks that I've had in our newsletter have been doing really well. I brought up MakerDAO at around 1,000. That's killing it. I wonder where it's at right now. Let's see here. Because MakerDAO interests me as well. I want to make sure I get, MKR. Let's see where you got here. Brought it up. Here we go. Yeah, that's doing great. So MakerDAO, and honestly, I'm greedy about my preferred entry points. Explicitly looking between this 900, maybe 850 tops range, but it's absolutely ripping. MakerDAO is another one I'm watching pretty closely, but I just don't feel like this is the right time. But God, it looks like it might be starting up to. What do you think about this, D? You ever?
I'm not a big fan of this one because, it's down, but it's like a 4x from its all-time high, and other altcoins, it's more than a 4x.
Yeah.
Like
That's a fair
Chainlink.
take.
I mean, you name it, it's more than a 4x.
Yeah. I'm thinking for like around 70, maybe even $80 for Chainlink. I think Chainlink's going to be a nasty. nasty boy.
I don't think it hits 100, but I think it goes above 50.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a 10x, which is a little bit better.
I'm wondering
2.5x better than 4x.
How's Thorchain doing? This is another pick. Let's see here. Not bad. I don't know. This is Thorchain's one.
Yeah, then you hit that chart and you're like,
yeah, and you get here and you're like, oh boy, you know what I mean? But the overall for Chainlink doesn't look that much better. I mean, it's setting up a floor, above, falling all the way down here. But I mean, they all kind of look similar. All you have to do is keep the pedal on the foot on the gas pedal and the lights on, the marketing moving, the technology build out growing, building those connections during this bear market, and have those lights on for when Bitcoin really decides to move again, and you're a winner. So, and Biscuit Jesus, he'll be in here. I think he's coming back tomorrow. Went out to Vegas, living the dream. Unbelievable.
playing some Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, he's a Magic the Gathering max. You were doing some Magic. You guys should do some Magic stuff together.
For a tournament. Yeah, I should.
You should. We should make that a thing.
Do you actually have decks, or you just play the game online?
Yeah, I have $1,000 worth of cards, but I mostly just play online. I haven't built a deck in years.
Yeah. He's an absolute. And I want to get a Pokemon.
I used to have tens of $1,000s worth of cards, and I put a lot of it into crypto.
Did you really?
Yeah, and a lot of it was living expenses. When I transitioned to a full-time streamer, I sold some cards to subsidize my payment, but I also got paid in cardboard. So it's like people talk about like, oh, well, I sold a lot of Bitcoin, but I was paid in Bitcoin. I sold a lot of cardboard, but I was paid in cardboard. So it's a weird thing. I end up selling a lot of cards.
Okay, that's fair. I remember I sold my Pokemon cards and I bought gold with those. That was a move. That was a definite move. Here's this that came out. We covered last Friday a cartel, and today, over the weekend, a Venezuelan authority came out and found grenade launchers, Bitcoin miners, and a zoo in a national jail, apparently. So definitely kind of an interesting story. We keep coming across these news articles highlighting just gigantic criminal organizations having Bitcoin miners in it. Is this the new alpha for cartels and major major syndicates, DZ? Are they all going to just be Bitcoin miners and shooting rocket launchers?
Wouldn't you, as they crack down on cash, you're the cartel leader. You are leading the cartel, and you have $10 million that rolls in every single day, and at the end of every week you have $70 million, and these stupid pallets of cash keep growing and growing and growing, and then they start cracking down. They're cracking down on the cash. Where are you going to go but Bitcoin? Where else would you go?
Yeah. And having that seed phrase
Selling
just memorized. Do you think they just memorize that seed phrase and that's it? Like it's impossible to get out otherwise?
No, you find some snitch and you tattoo it on their back, and then you hold them in a basement or something. Right?
I mean, if you were the boss, you'd have MTG cards, you'd have some golds.
I'm doing
I'd have the gold guns. All right, question chat. All of a sudden you wake up, you're a boss of a cartel. Do you have gold-plated guns?
What do we got here?
I feel like you need to.
What do we got? A warhead.
Oh, no.
Oh, extreme sour. All right, hold on. Let me take my lip dinner out for this one.
No, these are really bad long term. It's like introducing trace amounts of acid that eat away at your skin. The same thing with lemon water. Lemon water is fine, once in a while, but imagine you zoom out 30 years. You do not want to drink low acidic water for 30 years. It'll just eat at your enamel.
Oh, these things are chaos. This absolutely burns.
So it's, in a small amount, it ain't going to hurt nobody. But, don't eat this every day, folks. Don't eat it every day.
My enamel's good? All right.
This is hell. I got fake teeth anyways. My front teeth.
You have fake teeth?
I have fake teeth. I broke them on a man's face by headbutting him because he was shorter than me. So they are fake, yes.
You bit his head?
Well, he was shorter than me, Joel. Okay, why don't you just calm down? Okay. So
coming in.
This came out from Justin's son.
Oh my God.
What's that? What are you freaking out about down there?
It's very sour, bro.
Yeah. Are you all right?
No, it's not good.
HGX Global has suffered a loss of 5,000 Ethereum, about $8 million worth, due to a hacker attack. HGX has fully covered the losses incurred from the attack and has successfully resolved all related issues. All user assets are SAFU. I hate when they use that word.
Scroll down to Justin Sun's reply there below. Yeah, right there, 2 weeks. 8 million is a relatively small sum. It also just amounts to 2 weeks of revenue, folks.
So he is like, this ain't nothing. This ain't no big deal. He don't give a damn. Do you think Justin's son and Tron are going to be a pick? Where is Tron at? Because I don't feel he's like
weird. Look, here's the thing. Justin's son can pump Tron harder than retail can pump a coin. Okay, so just don't knock out Tron. Don't dismiss Tron. It does look like it failed to put in a new all-time high, so maybe it's going to kind of mimic what Litecoin's doing, just kind of slower, lower highs. But who knows, man? Justin's son could, just like pump it with $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and then, pump it up, new all-time highs, then he dumps on you.
I mean, it ain't doing horrible. Look at it. Like in this accumulation market.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it actually has like performed fairly well over the past year.
It's up 40% on the year. Like this has been... I mean, is that more?
It's outperformed ETH over the last year, I think. So, it's doing okay.
That's the thing, man. Like, and what is the majority of our, articles that we get, in the morning, we come across all these articles. There's tons of FUD about Justin's son and Tron and all that stuff. And literally, it's been up and to the right. So, when you see these things, it's like, you hear people talking and then you just move the other way.
But would you buy now though? Because now it's gone up so much.
Now, yeah, no, I don't like how high it is because I'm a little greedy, right? I like buying low, but
I'll say the basement will be stylish cartel leaders. I'll say that you guys are making the right choices.
Yeah, we are. I mean, sometimes it pays to be patient and let virtue of value and truth be on your side as time always is on your side if you're on the right. And this is just why I ran out of Bitcoin and into a link. This is just highlighting that Bitcoin value to link.
Okay, you think it broke out of the fallen wedge?
I think it's ready.
It looks like it is ready, don't it?
It does.
I'm feeling good about that breakout.
It does.
Wait, no. Are you zooming in on a pimple? Oh, no. I meant Link's breakout.
Yeah, I'm still feeling good. I am judging my bag of H-bar, though. It hasn't moved here. I don't know about H-bar. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a mover next time, but I'm trying to not bleed Satoshis here. That's the point. We still got like a half a year, maybe a year of this sideways hill that we're stuck in. This H-bar graph not sparking the most joy,
I bought some too. Hopefully
you bought some too?
Hopefully it goes up.
Hopefully don't just hope on that.
No. Hopefully.
Now,
Did you tweet it out and try to get H Barbarian support?
No.
If you're not clout chasing H Bar support, why are you buying H Bar?
you didn't even pitch a tent in H Bar's backyard,
Listen,
expecting
you know how
breakfast
hard it
in
is
the
to pitch
morning.
a tent in these? Never mind.
I bought a tent this
Look,
weekend.
you're out of California now. Get rid of the soy boy lifestyle.
That's
Now
true.
you're
That's
a
true.
strong, sovereign, tea-filled man.
That's
Georgia
right.
boys.
That's right.
What
You know,
up, Gata?
speaking of tents,
We had to get him out of California, man. It was too much machismo for that state. Okay, they couldn't handle Joel and his cocks.
There, I had to have a Tesla. Here, I want a Tesla.
Joel's I turned around the other day and he's sitting there benching like it was like 225. You're
Let's
just
go,
tossing
baby.
it around.
Watch out.
Tossing
Got a
it
gun.
around.
Got a prepper bag. I'm ready.
Man, you get him out of California, man.
Look
Things
at
start
this.
changing.
I'm Republican now. No.
He actually wants a closed border now. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's incredible what happens to you. But I am definitely thinking that the tide's getting ready to turn, and we're about ready to see good movement and get out of this altcoin bear market. Because I feel like in general, we're definitely still in an overall altcoin bear market. That's why it's so fun to make moves and picks like this. While most of them are losing, the ones that we're moving into are doing well. Thank goodness HBAR really hasn't lost me anything, but it's sitting here flatlined, and I might be thinking about taking a gander at some DeFi. I might be having to take a... God, I mean, I think I'm going to have to shift this HBAR thing around. I just get a bad feeling about it. All this stuff. Oh, yeah, Aptos. Aptos is another questionable one that we saw. It's got the developers from... It shares developers from the same team that like SUI divvied people up from, and those people came from Facebook's original coin project, Libra, until it was slapped in the mouth in front of Congress, God, and everyone, and Mark Zuckerberg had to back up the plans and divide the team up. How Aptos reacted to a fake Aptos team, or APT fiasco in the Korean exchange upbit. Let's see here. What do we got? So Aptos recently fell victim to fraud, which could have a negative impact on the token. South Korea's largest exchange, Upbit, identified a fake APT token created by scammers as real APT tokens. Didn't we look at the handle for it? Was really pretty obvious that it was a scam, wasn't it? It was like aptosfreelink.com or something.
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
like aptosfreeclaim.com or something. Yeah, it was really, really bad. But then maybe we could recheck. Aptos this morning was up.
Was it?
Even
Is
though,
it?
yeah. And I was thinking that the team, maybe, all of a sudden you get this really, really bad news. What would you want? You would want to pump your token so people don't talk about it.
It's well up. Look at this.
Yeah, does
7
that
day.
look like a little inorganic pump action?
Oh, my
maybe?
goodness.
I don't know, folks. I don't know.
Well, this is another potential.
They're like,
sleeper.
God, we got more bad news. Buy it, market, buy it.
Well,
buy
remember,
it now.
it came out real hot. It came out like $18-12 there. It seemed like it was a big thing. It's at $5.58. It's very new. It's got about, let's see here. So it's a $1.3 billion market cap already. That's impressive for a new coin to come up that quickly. Infinite supply. Yeah, I'll have to dig into the tokenomics. They probably suck because it's a VC coin, but honestly, when you're looking at VC coins, you're probably just chasing around, centralized garbage that's preferred by gigantic corporations. And if the money's green and you're in and out of it and, you're fine with having that risk exposure to potentially just another copy and paste centralized garbage coin, then have at it. You know what I mean? That's the way she goes. So Aptos, I'm not writing it off. It's at the end of my list though. It's really interesting to see that pump though, right as this news came. But if you back up in the grand scheme of things, of its life cycle, this pump that we're all excited about right now is this tiny little blip on the map. Just for some context on the, crypto's capable of some amazing stuff. We just kind of get numb to it because we see, gains, in the 100% sometimes. We get used to these doubling of our bags, but going from $5 to, even if it just reclaims its previous high, which wasn't that long ago, that'd be $18. That's a definite move right there. That's over a 3x. Wouldn't count it out. Other one that is comparable to is SUI. Let me see this one. I was on the SUI test net. Sweet. Is that how you say it? I never got that clarified.
I was thinking of never mind, I'm not going to describe the scene from the movie. You know which.
I know. Yeah. Oh God.
You've never seen Deliverance?
Oh
No,
my
I
God.
haven't.
You've never seen Deliverance.
Is it, like, scary?
Burt Reynolds' friend is anally penetrated by some hillbillies, and it is a very dark scene.
It was a very dark.
Yeah,
scene.
I heard it was scary or whatever.
Well, SUI's having a very dark time in life. It looks like we have an
my
absolute
God.
collapse.
Yeah,
Down-
speaking of penetration. Sorry. Look, guys, it's the basement. Okay, look, I can't say this on the morning stream. I got to come here. And
You gotta let it out. You know what I mean? It's a little placed event for you here. This is what the basement will always be. And might to remind everyone, this is the place that was built for other opinions when every major influencer was guaranteeing $10,000 for Bitcoin, right? The basement was the place where we discussed the dangerous possibility that it would actually hold somewhere around 17,000 because the cost to mine was at 19,000 at the time of collapse. We were forged in fire by those looking for alternate ideas on the market. That's how this channel was formed. You can take that to the bank. But SUI, not doing so great. But if it comes back and it's a VC darling, this 44 cents mark might be an absolute grab right now. I'd probably wait on SUI until we're a little bit into next year. I would wait on SUI till Bitcoin breaches. I'm still holding on to my idea of altcoin season really kicking back into gear, in my personal opinion, is when Bitcoin crosses $32,000 per coin. Then I feel like altcoins will get that ripple effect that'll happen once the big, boulder of institutional interest precedes retail interest. I think when that happens, when we breach 32K, then it is absolute gold time for altcoins. So that's why I'm getting prepared now for them. I'd imagine that's going to come somewhere around the end of the year. We got election season coming up. They're going to be spinning all of those electoral ads, trying to make everyone feel like everything's okay. Bidenomics is working. Do you think, okay, here's a serious question. Is Trump going to be the next presidential candidate for the Republican Party? What you guys say? DZ, thoughts?
First thoughts, seems like the obvious choice. Second thought, usually the front runner a year ahead of time isn't the winner. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
If it's not Trump, who would it be? DeSantis seems to be the worst campaigner out of someone who is a good governor. He's just an absolutely terrible campaigner. Yeah, it seemed like he got notes to your natural personality isn't playing well, so change your personality into something that's camera ready. And so he's pretending. He's like, he's trying to do weird smiles, and it's just not natural. So worst campaigner ever. I don't really think he can take it to the next level. I am Team Vivek. I think a 38-year-old. I'd rather have a 38-year-old than a 78-year-old. Call me crazy. And he's doing a lot with a little. He's self-funded. He's the only candidate who is firmly against the Ukrainian war on that side.
Firmly against the World Economic Forum. He was pissed that he was labeled a young global leader.
Joel, I know you're like super pro-Ukraine, but to me, I don't think a forever war. I really don't want another forever war. I graduated high school, leading into the Afghanistan invasion, the Iraq invasion. My entire adult life has been fighting meaningless wars, and I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done with the meaningless wars. So that's why I'd vote for Vivek or RFK.
Yeah. God, what about a Trump RFK? God, I mean, I love Vivek. It's hard. Vivek. The only reason I am not thinking that
Vivek like cake.
Vivek like cake. And I think he deserves to be the president. I mean, he's got a great presentation. He's been saying a lot of, like, too many of the right things. So that brings him suspect in my mind.
What, like there's two genders? You heard him say that. And you're
I mean, that's AI, clearly. You know what I mean? There's obviously there's 80 genders. Joel, I'm kind of interested in where you land politically. Like, after seeing everything that's happened. Okay.
I don't want to get wrecked, but I did vote for Trump. I am.
Why are you going to get wrecked for that?
Dude, because my wife hates Trump because he says China.
You're not in California.
No, I know. But my wife is, she doesn't vote for either one. And I'm a Republican. I believe that abortion sucks. And I believe, I'm a Christian too. So there's those things. But I would say, I want a president that looks like a president, acts like a president, that isn't 80 and looking for his bedpan. So yes. And I also don't want someone that's tweeting dumb things. I don't know. There's no good, perfect president out there, but that's who I want.
I'll take RFK or Vivek. I mean, RFK, he is a little older, but he's jacked on HGH and testosterone. He's wearing like jeans and doing.
I'll look him up.
Incline bench in the sun.
RFK is
leave your wife now.
Oh my God, unbelievable!
Rocky,
see, we got the coolest chat. Just
you
by
have
the way,
Adrian, let him have his.
We got the coolest chat up there. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I'm going to be, over the next few days here, I'm going to be looking at potentially moving my H-bar around and then another big move into another altcoin. But I got to be judging where everything else goes from right now. But I hope that you've been following this channel and caught those calls over the last few weeks. Don't get distracted by a bunch of stuff. These warheads actually end up tasting pretty good
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, once you get through all the sour bitterness,
I
they're
couldn't
really
get
tasty.
through it. I had to kill it.
They're pretty tasty.
I'll
Well,
keister it.
you guys are awesome. It's 3. We're going to go set up ATB, getting after it here. We got Mike Bennett, C90FTW. We got BJE. What's up? Nice. New name. What's up? Crypto Naughty. Got a life. What up? And Bob from accounting. So fantastic.
Will AI be a third gender?
The AI is going to be a new version of humanity, I feel like. Got Cro-Magnums. We still have Neanderthals.
Well, I'm going to call someone a they. I'd rather it be a robot.
So true.
Not
So
a
true.
breathing mammal.
So true. So true. But other than that, I absolutely appreciate everyone joining us here today. Owen, what the hell did you go to Vegas like your gal wanted to? They were all going to Vegas last we left.
Nope.
Well, you failed. You need to take her to
Ended up not
Vegas.
going.
Owen never wants to show his face.
Owen had like 3 gals wanted to go to Vegas with him. Unbelievable. That's the way it goes. Sometimes you can't get them
Way
all.
she goes.
That's the way she goes.
Way of the
Well,
road.
Until next time, take care, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Keeps it real. We'll see you soon.